So part of why we're seeing this broader cultural shift right now is, again, life experience, questioning those cultural messages that once were accepted, messages about beauty and, you're not supposed to sit around in your sweatpants in 3 layers. You're supposed to look so cute because that makes you desirable. See, I'm the example of our topic today. Messages about what empowerment is supposed to look like. And instead of performing to those expectations, many people are starting to redefine them or let go of them altogether.
And I love this because now we're kind of circling back to what is potentially kind of been a positive result of some online things where you see the pushback in conversations that is gaining, a collective consciousness about body positivity, aging naturally, rejecting unrealistic beauty standards, prioritizing authenticity over appearance. It's the yin to the yang of what we've been talking about. And the idea that many women are simply saying, I am not performing anymore. And for me personally, a personal story, I remember when I turned 50 as a very pivotal time. 50 is when women, we're changing, right? By the way, I also just got to throw this in there. Men are changing too, but society loves to pretend that they're as virile as they were when they were, 20. But men go through what's called andropause. Nobody talks about that, but they do. At about the same time as when women go through menopause. Anyway, so when I felt a change right about that point in my life, about 50, on how I seemed to be perceived in the world. And it kind of felt like getting an elbow, getting to the sidelines so that the younger and more supple have the center stage. And at first, it felt kind of depressing. And as an artist, I created this piece of art in this really depressing poem. But I had it posted on my blog at one point, but I'm like, I got to take that down because it was kind of really depressing. Oh, this is the end of life. But then I turned a corner. And the corner was when I realized that whole process was actually a superpower because I was no longer being focused. The opportunity was that I was no longer confined to society's definition of beauty or sexual attractiveness. So I would say to myself, I can dance like nobody's watching because guess what? Nobody was watching anymore. And that was so freeing. I did not attach too much, not to my appearance then and now, but I didn't like being labeled one way or the other. But I do want people, back when I was younger, I didn't know how to articulate it, but now with more life experience, I can say I want people to see me for who I am, someone with lots of thoughts, perspectives, life experience now, lots of heart and soul and confidence that was created from all of that, the good, the bad, the successes, and the mistakes. And I am so much more than what can be defined by external standards or by society or by the social media. And ladies, when I tell you that every decade gets better, I can attest to that. I would not want to be any younger, except maybe if I could sleep like I used to. That kind of shifts as you get older. But I would not trade anything for who I am now. I earned my own love, and that is one of my proudest personal accomplishments. And to be loved by my close circle of friends and family, like you guys here, that is what it's all about for me at this point in time. And it's all about what it is all about for me in relationships, real life versus the online stuff.
Love that you shared that, Kat, and that you fell in love with who you are. I think once you achieve that, in the inner world, your entire external world begins to experience just that.
That is it. That is it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what you just described. So beautiful. And when that shift starts happening internally, it often changes all of our relationship dynamics. Because when someone starts performing for attention, they begin prioritizing something different in their relationships. They start looking for respect, emotional safety, and trust rather than just attraction or validation. Studies in developmental psychology show that as people move through adulthood, many transition from what researchers call impression-based attraction towards attachment-based connection. In simpler terms, early attraction often centers around appearance, status, or how exciting the interaction feels. But long-term relationship satisfaction is strongly tied to completely different factors. Research from the Gottman Institute, which has studied thousands of couples over decades, shows that the strongest predictors of stable, fulfilling relationships are things like emotional responsiveness, mutual respect, trust, and the ability to create psychological safety. Not appearance, not attention, not how many people are interested in someone. And this is where the pattern becomes clear. When people stop prioritizing attention as a marker of value, they often begin choosing partners and building relationships based on qualities that actually sustain intimacy over time. And that shift can completely change the kinds of relationships people are drawn to. And I also think part of the cultural awakening we were speaking about earlier, happening right here and now, is the more people are starting to recognize how interconnected all of this really is. The same handful of digital ecosystems shaping what we watch and believe are also connected to what we buy, eat, stream, scroll, and aspire to. Yes, large asset managers like BlackRock have major stakes across many public companies. When the same broad systems help shape what we consume for entertainment, what we consume for news, what we consume for food, and what we consume for identity, we have to start asking deeper questions. Are we choosing, or are we being conditioned to choose from a menu that was already designed for us? And again, I don't shape that from fear. I shape it from awareness, because awareness is what gives us our power back.